guys running backs in Heupel scheme because you get light boxes with just the wide splits
Yeah.
receivers. So that's a benefit. Tennessee averages 5 yards a rush every single year. It doesn't matter who it is under Heupel. But this was the first bell cow back season. It's been a rotation before this, but due to injuries and just roster limitations, that Tennessee really put a lot on Dylan. One of the best things about Dylan Sampson, it's kind of like the intangible stuff where he's just a great leader. Like he's a locker room leader. He's just a good dude to have in the locker room, and just I think is going to be a consummate pro wherever he goes. And I think that matters in a lot of areas. But I do kind of wonder because this is kind of a divisive thing I think among Vol fans, but I look at Jaylen Wright last year as more of the prototypical Heupel back, where he's averaging 7.5 yards per carry. Like that breakaway he had when he got to the second level against Georgia, where he has a level of speed that you like. He went to Miami, and I'm like, oh, perfect. Like I still hold out hope that he figures how to carves out a role with the Dolphins. But it's like they're so speed based that it's like with Waddle and everybody else, like, oh, Jaylen Wright makes so much sense for them. That's good. Sampson's the opposite. Like I've seen some people, like Sampson doesn't really have that second gear. Sampson's more of a every down back Najee Harris type to me. But I don't know. What do you see in Dylan Sampson coming into the draft this year where you think you might? Oh, and then when you think back to how you looked at Jaylen Wright last year, who do you like better coming into the NFL?
I think I like Sampson more,
Mm,
honestly. I just think Sampson has so many intangibles, like you said. Like I didn't know about him off the field, the kind of
mm,
leader he is, but you can tell that he's like that based on how he plays. Like he knows his game, he plays his game, and he just always does the right thing. Like I think his vision is incredible. He trusts his speed, even though it's not crazy. He isn't going to be trying to put a move on the safety or
mm.
chop his feet when he doesn't have to. It's like, look, I'm in the open field. There's somebody in front of me. I'm just going to hit the highest gear that I can and try to angle around them. And a lot of times, that's what works. I remember watching an interview with Dalvin Cook, and he said that was the main thing he had to
Hmm.
learn going into the league was just trust your speed. You don't have to run somebody over or juke them out or ever pat your feet. Just put your foot in the ground and go. And I think Sampson really understands that to a high level. I think the game is really moving slow for him. He feels contact kind of hit him, and he kind of uses that and flows off of that in a unique way, I think, to help him break tackles, even though he's not the biggest, strongest, fastest running back. He can block. He can and he can hit a home run or two. Like he can kind of bend himself and kind of contort his body and gain speed kind of through a curve, which I kind of like, even though it's not at the open field, he can be tracked down.
Mm.
So the vision, the speed, just the nonchalantness that he has when he gets hit and the way he's able to kind of bounce off of it. I think there's a lot to like about Dylan Sampson. I don't think he's the highest ceiling back, despite what the numbers say, but he is, like you said, a pro, and I think his floor is extremely high.
Is he a three down back at the next level or no?
Probably not. Probably not. I don't think that he's probably a like a fourth round guy for
Hmm.
me. I just don't know if he's quite got the workhorse body and a tackle breaking ability overall to be someone that you're feeding in the NFL like he did in college. But man, as a change of pace guy, I think he'll make you really happy when your NFL bell cow is out, when Josh Jacobs is out, and he would be in. I think the vision and yeah, I like that he's small too a little bit. Like I think people like that get lost kind of in all the blockers, and he kind of understands how he's small and can kind of set that up. So he's somebody that I think is going to be a valuable piece to a running back rotation. Not a three down bell cow.
He's got some work done to him too. That just it doesn't seem like I don't know what outside of being patient, like actually on the field, like it's just nothing that really jumps out of like what's gonna make this guy just be like in the NFL for 9 to 10 years, where you just keep looking at the end of the year of stats and you're like, oh, another good year for Jaylen Sampson. Like he's just one of those guys where it's like, oh, he averaged 5.2 yards per carry again, and there he goes. He had 700 yards, and it didn't feel like it throughout the year, but you're like, oh, he's just chugging along, Dylan Sampson. But I do kind of wonder about his workload because I mean his workload was crazy this year. So he's coming in with a lot of carries
Yeah.
coming off this year. So I hope he's not an every down guy. I hope he is in a rotation.
Yeah, I think he will be. He just doesn't have the size you'd expect for somebody with all of those carries. And I do think
Yeah.
the wear and tear coming out of college is something that everybody kind of sank their teeth into and ran with recently.
Hmm.
And I don't think it matters as much as some would say, like
Hmm.
Genty getting all these carries. Like it doesn't really bother me. Um, if you got all those carries, you probably got them for a reason.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing, honestly. So I'm not too concerned about like wear and tear on his body or workload, but I just think talent wise, there's very few like workhorse 3 down backs in the
Yeah.
league anymore, regardless. And I just don't think Sampson's going to be one of those elite few, but that doesn't mean he's not good.
Dante Thornton, do you think he has